Alright everybody, this is Yanak here and I'm over here with Chris. I got first place at our box tournament. And what deck are you playing, Chris?
I am playing Tenpai Dragon.
Alright. Do you have any shoutouts or anything you want to say before we start?
I have a lot of shoutouts. First off, I would like to thank Zach Griffin for honestly getting me started on this deck. I wouldn't be here without him, really. Christian Griffin, he basically gave me the hookup with one of the cards, and Kevin Trunk, he MVP of today for me, really. People I know. Hayden Lippelman, amazing dude I know at this game. Kyle Costello, amazing player. Brendan Patterson, he's the reason why I still come up here and do this stuff. Carson and Cody Cowell, great friends of mine, and I have a blast with these guys. Everybody at the store is amazing and talented players, and every time I'm up here, I always have a blast.
Alright, it sounds good. So if you want, we can get started then.
Alright, first off, we're starting 3 Pydra. It's the usual 3 Tundra, 2 Fadra. When I first started, I questioned why 2 Fadra, and now I understand. Again, I thank Zach for this. The normal Tenpai package, we're playing 2 Song and Summonings, and then a Terraforming. Terraforming, it's great for bait too, since Fadra also searches the field spell. And then we're playing 3 Kaiman, and that's really it for the Tenpai package we have for this deck. For our non-engine, 3 Ash, 3 Effect Veiler, 2 Ghost Ogre. This has came up for me today in so many clutch situations. Honestly, it probably gave me like most of my wins today.
You used it against me, right? You beat
me I used it against you, and that got me game 1.
Yeah.
2 Ghost Mourner. Didn't really see this card at all today. If anything, it was it's the card I traded out in my decks the most. Since most of the people here, one of my opponents, he played Fluenderies. I was thinking, oh wait, this is like my priority, I need to get out of here, or else I lose. I'm playing dead cards in my deck. And then for the last of the monsters we're playing in here, we have 1 Magnamut. Magnamut is such a great card for this deck. When I mention it later with spheres, you can go into so many things. When I was first learning it, instead of spheres, I'd go into Magnamut instead of Chandra, because I could still get Magnamut effect to add since it's when it's special. Alrighty. We're playing 3 Prosperity. Prosperity is really good in this deck because you're not going to go to every extra deck monster. There's a lot of targets for this deck, and normally you would go for the same extra deck monsters to pitch anyways, since you would only really need Vident and Transcendent to really win your games. We have Forbidden in here. Forbidden helps the most out with matchups like Voiceless Voice, but if anything too, Forbidden's a good target to card off the field spell, especially when going first. I have 3 Crossout Designator. When I got this card, it opened my eyes, fell in love with it, love at first sight. For back row destruction, we have 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. These cards didn't really come up for me today, but in other days where I would play in other tournaments, these cards came up for me, and they'd always help me out. They're so clutch and so nice, especially on a top deck. And then to end the main deck off, 3 Emperor, pretty self-explanatory. Alright, for extra deck, we have 1 Trident, 2 Transcendent, and 2 Biden. Standard package, I like going with 2 Transcendents, especially since it's a great level 10 to go into. I wasn't playing Trident Dragon before this match, so I was used to playing 2 Transcendent, so it's just a habit for me to keep these in here, but they're really nice to have, especially at 2, in case for some odd reason you go to turn 4. We're playing Ultimaya Zulkin. It's an option for going first. Basically, it helps you cheat out synchros like Blackwing Assault and Crystal Wing. It's another option if you don't really feel like going into the Link package, or you know your opponent's playing all gas. Instead of going Spheres Pass, you can go Zulkin and give yourself more board presence. We're playing Time Lord, Warp Gate. Warp Gate is only really good against the Yubel matchup since you could just banish all their cards, but it also has the effect where it acts as a Pot of Prosperity for only deal half the damage to your opponent. So unless you have the means to kill with Warp Gate on the field, it's only really good with Yubel against Yubel, since it avoids the Destruction Clause. We're playing Black Rose Dragon. I love this card, especially since you can. It's protected by the field spell. The field spell protects Fire Dragon monsters, not Tenpai only. So if I'm going second and my opponent has a board I know I'll have difficulty going into, if I have Kaiman in hand, I will summon Fadra or Pydra out, effective Chandra, special it, go into Black Rose and nuke the field, and then I go Kaiman and just win from there. We're playing Ruddy Rose. Haven't gotten to use Ruddy Rose yet. Really, it's a rank 10 version of Black Rose Dragon. I can tell it would be good against Snake Eyes since it banishes from Grave, but I haven't really had a chance to play against Snake Eyes, and when I did, I really had the means to kill them without them making a full board. Blackwing Assault, great for going first, and great for game. When effects resolve, counter, dish 700, and that's all it needs for main one on opponent's turn during time.
You what?
We're going Kui Belt. Kui Belt's pretty good. Just summon pop, all you really need it for. You could pop field spell, or you can pop an opponent's monster you need to get over. And then last for the synchros, we have Crystal Wing, great negate card. For our links, we're playing one Hieratic Seal, one Hida, one Doolittle. Doolittle is great under Dimension Barrier. Hida, great for the mirror match. And then Hieratic Seals is usually the card you want to end on if you're going first. For a side deck, it's kind of weird, but if I could find it, we're playing 2 Cyclone, 1 Mourner, 1 Ogre, 2 Mourners, 3 Crow, 2 Nib, 3 Droll, and then 1 D Barrier.
For the cross out, right?
Yep.
So, do you always opt to blind second against every deck, or is there some decks that you want to go first against?
I'm still getting this deck under the rope, so I always assume going second. But it is pretty. If you're well versed in the deck, you really wouldn't stress out if you're going first. Especially, it depends on what you're opening. Like there was multiple times today where I went first, especially in my last round, where I 2-0'd my opponent, but he made me go first. And it's kind of a battle, but especially when you just have spheres on the field with nothing on the board. So it's just the amount of hand presence you have that matters when going first. But normally, you would not elect to go first at all, unless you know what your opponent's playing.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for that deck profile.
Thanks for having me.